fucked up and die. Been a long time since I've had the chance to talk about Motion City Soundtrack. If you remember, one of the first videos that I made with this new form of content that I was doing was Motion City Soundtrack way back in like 2019. Now, unfortunately, a Motion City Soundtrack was around a couple years ago for their Commit This to Memory anniversary tour. Originally, I did have tickets to go see it, and I was supposed to have some of my vocals be on the new album. But due to life kind of getting in the way, and then the original date got canceled because of COVID, I wasn't able to attend the makeup date. And that's a shame, because Commit This to Memory from Motion City Soundtrack is legitimately one of my favorite albums. Easily one of those rare albums that I do think is perfect and is a 10 out of 10, and I would have loved to see it live. I did eventually get a ticket to see like the recording of the show after, so I at least got to see it. But the live experience, I'm sure, was absolutely amazing. So when I saw that Motion City Soundtrack was coming out with a new album, Same Old Wasted Wonderful World, I got very, very excited, because typically a new album means a new tour. This tour was at the Fillmore again, so you know, kind of an old pro going there at this point. First, because we are talking about a punk rock show, there's always going to be openers that are new and up and coming. So let's get into talking about the opener for this show, Sincere Engineer. I liked them. Sometimes I kind of struggle with finding new things to say about bands that I'm seeing for the first time, especially like up and coming ones. I feel like the punk rock scene is one of those things where it's like been around for so long that it may be difficult to try something new or like to do something I've never seen before, because I've seen quite a lot. But Sincere Engineer was very, very good. I liked the sound. I liked the singer. She was very nice, and she was actually the one out selling merchandise. So she, you know, you could say hi, talk to her and all that. So, you know, very, very nice, very, very friendly. Lots of good audience engagement. And the music just sounded good. Very, very nice punk rock vibe that is perfect for something like Motion City Soundtrack. Kind of tying with my previous comment, I do know that these days it may feel impossible to generate a following, like a genuine, dedicated following for whether you are a YouTuber, artist, musician, whatever. I would like to see Sincere Engineer get there. You know, there's certainly always room for new bands and new music, and I'd like to see where they go. So after a delightful set from Sincere Engineer, we're getting into the main event, Motion City Soundtrack. Issues with Motion City Soundtrack for me is that they're too damn good. They've got too many good songs, and I hate to say it, but no matter what songs they play, whether it's new ones or old ones, it's going to be good, but I'm always going to be left wanting more. Now, this particular tour, of course, is from their new album, so they did play a bunch of the new songs. But to my surprise, they did not start with Attractive Today and Everything Is Alright. I feel like those two songs, because they're kind of, you know, two parts of one big song, is like the perfect opener. But Somewhere a Dark Heart was kind of nice. A little more bittersweet in terms of opening songs, but it's quite good. In fact, I recommend checking out the Same Old Wasted Wonderful World, because, like, is good. It's got a lot of good songs, and this tour showed that they had a lot of good songs to go ahead and play for.
Yeah! We put out a new record. We're playing some songs from that motherfucker. Is this one, Josh? Is this a new one? This is a new one. Can't explain it, I can't ignore it. All these feelings I felt have been working against me, man, since I've been alive.
Songs that we were treated to were classics like Favorite Accident, Her Words Destroyed My Planet, Even If It Kills Me, Point of Extinction, Let's Get Fucked Up and Die. You know what you're gonna go ahead and get with this group, and they certainly picked a nice selection of songs. Personally, I would have traded out Capital H. I'm not super big on Capital H. I would have preferred to see something like, and this is me, but like Indoor Living or Shiver. And those are some of my favorite songs from their first album, but not songs that they played from Same Old Wasted Wonderful World specifically, they did play Particle Physics, which I really, really like. They did play Things Like This, which is also really good. For their I'm Gonna Rip Your Fucking Heart Out song, they did play Your Days Are Numbered. Another one that I like is She Is Afraid. That one is also pretty good as well.
Good. How many of you guys know a record we made called My Dinosaur Life? Follow-up question? You want to hear something from that? Yeah! All right. Maybe you were right after all. Maybe I'm just bad news. I've been drowning in memories. I hate that word. Well, ever since you were good. I hate that word. I fell asleep watching Veronica Mars again.
From their selection of songs, it was quite good, but you kind of felt like we got through it awfully fast. There was a little bit of audience interaction here and there, and there's one part where they were talking about, being in Minneapolis and all the crazy shit that's been going on there, and it led into this whole chant of everybody shouting, "Fuck ice, fuck ice, fuck ice."
I can't explain it, but yeah. Well, I guess by talking, I'll talk about it. You can listen. But yeah, I mean, Josh and I live there. All of us have lived there at some point, and it's really weird to think about this sort of last day vibes happening there. But being a person that's on the ground, not in Minneapolis proper, but they're all the way out in the fucking suburbs too. And the main thing I just want to talk about is I don't think it's political to want to protect children. I mean, personally, I hate those motherfuckers. But not children. I love kids. But I mean, my own kid's school, is 50% Somali and Mexican, Central American people and South Americans. And these motherfuckers are going in just jumping out of cars, flashing guns, and the kids can't even look out the window anymore. They gotta pull the shades. We're all traumatized. The white kids too, because these people are their friends,
The crowd was phenomenal too. Just from start to finish, I mean, people were pushing into each other and moshing a little bit, nothing crazy. There was one guy that did go ahead and kind of crowd surf over, but not really allowed to do that anymore. But of course it did happen. Energy in the room was just electric from the start of it, from the first second that they came on. I mean, people were cheering and singing and screaming along. It was just so much fun to be around that audience again after so much time and enjoy one of my all-time favorite bands. towards the end, they played more of like their big hits. So we got Let's Get Fucked Up and Die, which as always is magical live, being one of my favorite songs of all time. Then, of course, we got Attractive Today, Everything Is Alright, and they always do end with The Future Freaks Me Out, which especially these days, it absolutely does. And as they're ripping through these songs and we're laughing and we're having such a great time and it's so much fun, it was almost over as soon as it began. And we had to and it didn't really hit me till we got to like The Future Freaks Me Out. It's like, oh, it's over already? I mean, they played, 12, 13 songs. They played a good number of songs. But it was just so much fun that like time just literally flew by once they got on stage.
Picture as a killer and the sun goes down. I'm really astounded as I sleep. That night it's a concrete, but I'm too tired to go to sleep. I'm too weak to follow dreams tonight. For the first time in a long, I feel the overwhelming nature of it all. Like matter calls us out now, closer with every day. The memory without is gone. It's how we have until the end.
You guys want me to go ahead and get into the punk rock merch here. So let's start off with what my girlfriend picked up for me from Sincere Engineer. Patch that says, "I got that dog in me." And I think that's fucking hysterical. This will absolutely be going on my battle vest, which I haven't made a video about yet. I think I will at some point soonish, but this is definitely going to go on there. He also was gifted a enameled pin, Sincere Engineer, and it's got the corn dog. I just think that's funny. But the big things that I was excited for was, of course, the Motion City soundtrack merch itself, because it's always fire. So first off, I did get a t-shirt as usual. I did not get like the tour shirt, but I did get this awesome Dr. Mario one. And it says here, "Is there a doctor in the house who can figure me out?" Because that's a line from Particle Physics. And like, look at the perfection that is that shirt. With the design and the font and the character. Oh, it's absolutely awesome. I could not resist. Then, because they had a hoodie for one of my favorite songs of all time, I had to get it. So this is the hoodie, was the soundtrack, but on the back. Oh, look at that skull. And it says, "Let's Get Fucked Up and Die" in the center. Oh my God, tell me that's not perfect. One thing too that I've always wanted to get, ever since I got into Motion City soundtrack, is I wanted to get Commit This to Memory on vinyl. Luckily at the show they had all of their previous albums available to go ahead and pick up on vinyl. So here it is. I got Commit This to Memory on vinyl to add to my very, very small vinyl collection. Just so happy to have this on vinyl. It's beautiful, and it's my favorite album. I love collecting my favorite albums, just to kind of have as a reminder of what some of the top stuff out there is. So as much fun as I had, obviously I would always recommend to go ahead and see Motion City soundtrack. If I had to rate my favorite bands, like genuinely think about like rating my favorite bands, Motion City soundtrack would be easily in the top 5 over like everything that I've seen, just because of how much they mean to me and like the emotional connection and all that. If I had to rank bands, I think number 1 would be Gorillaz. Number 2 would be My Chemical Romance, followed shortly by Green Day. I think for 4 I would probably put Blink-182, and then 5 I think would be Motion City soundtrack. And again, there's crap loads of other bands that I love. I'm fucking wearing a Metallica shirt here, which is also up there in some of my favorite bands. But Motion City soundtrack just has that way of speaking to me through their lyrics and their upbeat music, and then it hits you with the sad stuff. It's just fantastic. There's not really many bands that kind of resonate with me the same way that they do. And it was clear that a lot of people felt the same way. A lot of people there were enjoying it, and they loved every second of it. And I think the crowd kind of wanted them to stick around a little bit longer. Motion City Soundtrack or just a fan of punk rock in general, go, have a great time. You won't regret it. They're gonna leave you craving more. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next. Wait, you stupid bastard, there's more. You might have noticed that for the promotional material for this tour, there was another band listed called Say Anything. And I have to admit, I thought it was weird that Say Anything did not come out after Sincere Engineer. Like, oh, like maybe something happened or maybe somebody got hurt. Well, the marketing kind of misled me a little bit. I thought that this was going to be Say Anything with Motion City Soundtrack as the headliner. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case. I think the poster is a bit deceptive because it lists Motion City Soundtrack at the top and then it says Say Anything plus Motion City Soundtrack at the bottom. So again, to me, it made sense that, oh, they're going to be the headliner. They just dropped a new album. Because the last couple of times they've been around at the Fillmore, they were the headliner, so that just made sense. But actually, it's Say Anything that is the headliner. I know nothing about this band. I know literally nothing about this band. I have not heard of them. I have not seen them. I am not familiar with any songs that they have made. So it kind of put me in this awkward position. Do I stay and watch a band that I don't give a shit about after watching a band that means the world to me? Because nothing that they could have done could be more hype for me or be better for me than seeing Motion City Soundtrack. I mean, unless it was like fucking Daft Punk that appeared out of nowhere and be like, surprise guys, but you know, like that'll never happen. So I was with my girlfriend was with me at the concert and we said, okay, hey, we saw we wanted to see Motion City Soundtrack. Let's give them a chance. This is what we saw.
Just don't give a fuck. I had to put you in your place. Leave a look of shame upon your face. So the kids for the last 2 years have got off, and got on. But I still miss you more.
And so then we looked at each other and we're like, nah, we're good. And then we pieced the fuck out of there. What's interesting is that I was not the only one that pieced out. Right after Motion City Soundtrack left, this is what we saw. And all those people, like that horde of people, were leaving after Motion City Soundtrack. And what I noticed too is that like as soon as they were left, like all these people left, and then like the room got like, there was much more space, there was a lot less people around. Granted, this was a sold out show, so there was still a really good portion of people here to go ahead and see Say Anything. But like a large chunk of folks pieced out after Motion City Soundtrack. Now again, I don't mean to sound disrespectful or say that like Say Anything is trash or anything like that. You know, people like what they like, and from the first intro song, it's not my vibe. Just not for me. Motion City Soundtrack is something that means too much to me that like, I didn't want to sour the experience by seeing a band that I'm not crazy about. If it was a situation where Say Anything was the second band, sure, absolutely. I could stay through that because I know Motion City Soundtrack is coming up next. But that's not what happened. So one thing that I will say is that if you are going on this particular tour with Say Anything, just be aware that Say Anything is the headliner, not Motion City Soundtrack. And it seems to me that a lot of people were there specifically for Motion City Soundtrack. I mean, I saw so many people leaving with, you know, their hoodies and shirts, and a lot of people were buying the vinyls as well, as I saw like them walking out and going to their cars to leave. So a little bit of unclear marketing, so that is something to be aware of. If that is your cup of tea, just know that, hey, you can still see Motion City Soundtrack if you want and then peace out, or if you want to try something new and stay for Say Anything, go for it. Totally up to you. Either way, Motion City Soundtrack, as always, puts on a banging show, and I loved it. I absolutely love seeing them, and I can't wait to go ahead and see him again sometime. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.